Welcome to the Consulting Leaders Podcast, where we talk about the business of consulting. Whether you're looking to grow your practice or learn from the stories of leaders in consulting, you're in the right place. I'm your host, Guillaume Jouvencel, ex-PwC and co-founder of GHA Marketing. Join me as I interview the best consultants in their niche. Let's get on with the show. Right, Alex, thank you so much for coming on Consulting Leaders. You've been in marketing for more than 25 years now, and you founded All Marketing Services back in 2018. So let's maybe begin off with this. Like, what got you, into digital marketing in the first place, and what keeps you excited about it today, especially after almost 3 decades?
Sure. So I got a degree on computing, and I was doing some practice work at the university. And someone came to me and says, "Okay, Alex, we are talking about 1995." And someone comes to me and says, "Alex, we need a web page for one of our departments." And I was like, "Okay, and how can I build a web page?" I was in Spain yet. I was in the US. I came to the US in 2013. So in Spain, a web page, what is that? So I had to learn how to code on HTML, no visual editors like you have nowadays. So it was just a programming language by itself. So I learned how to code the landing page, the web page, and since then I've been involved in this world.
Oh, from building web pages in HTML to all marketing services. So what got you into, launching this ads agency and helping clients now since 2018?
Well, when you finish college with your computing degree, you think that technology is the core of every business. But I studied an MBA a couple of years later, and I realized that there was a lot more than IT in a business. And I wanted to learn more about that. So the easiest transition was from IT to the online marketing to digital marketing. So I could apply all my knowledge about computing and technology and doing some marketing. So I moved to a company and I was managing the operations of the company. We were creating vertical social networks about tourism, about literature and different things. And then I created my own marketing agency in Spain in 2008.
Okay, so 2008 marketing agency in Spain, 2018 marketing agency in the US. Is that correct?
Yes, in
So
between,
what?
I worked for a couple of companies here in the US. I created a startup in the education space that didn't work well, and that's when I decided to come back to what I do best, that is the digital marketing. So I created all marketing services.
Here we go. So can you tell us a bit more about this? What specific problem do you solve with all marketing services?
Well, what makes us different is that although we specialize on online advertising and conversion rate optimization, our metrics are not cost per lead or clicks or click-through rate. We just focus on the client profitability because in the end, we are in it for the money. And a client don't care about how much a lead costs, how much a click costs. That's irrelevant for them. If they are not getting new clients on our retainer, it's completely irrelevant. So we always try to focus on getting more revenue and make the campaigns more profitable for the clients.
Okay. Who is this client? Like, who do you serve specifically with those services?
We work with any kind of a service-based company, so we don't do e-commerce. So we work basically with law firms. Around 75% of our clients are law firms, but we work with other service-based companies like healthcare providers, mortgage brokers, waste management companies.
Why? So it's interesting that you mentioned that. Why focusing on service-based businesses? Why not going the way of like, e-commerce or like physical product or anything else really? Why focusing on the service-based businesses?
Well, because I saw that most agencies specialize on e-commerce when talking about advertising, and because it's much easier, e-commerce tracking and everything is
Is.
easier than for services. So
Hmm.
that's why I decided that there was a bigger opportunity, and offering a high quality service could create us a reputation on that field, and that's why we are focused on service based only companies.
Mm. And so this is where this is getting interesting. So as consultants, right? Because there is a dimension of consulting in all marketing agencies, but also
Okay.
this show is called Consulting Leaders.
Mm-hmm.
As consultants, we typically sell a much higher ticket, right? Which is the case for agencies as well than e-commerce. So e-commerce is very easy when it comes to advertising because you're like, okay, I'm going to try to push for this product. There are some brand plays as well for sure, but okay, I'm going to try to push this product, and it's very easy to, attribute an ad to an outcome. Like, okay, I sold X units of this product that I was doing an ad for. For consulting, for much higher ticket, the sales cycles is much longer. Also for agencies, right, there are multiple interactions required. It's about trust, it's about authority. It's not as easy as just, firing up the ads and getting clients in. So how do you do that for your clients? How do you, especially law firms, right? This is also rather high ticket, healthcare. How do you get them from people don't know you to, hey, here is a buyer with advertising?
Well, using consulting in the end uh, is
There you
about
go.
offering high quality service and translate your knowledge, saying, okay, I'm different from other agencies that are pitching you right now because we focus on your revenue, on your profitability, and not just on getting you leads. I can send you hundreds of leads every day, but your sales team, or even you, if you're a smaller law firm or a small service-based company, you will be picking the phone with people that are completely irrelevant for your business. So you will be wasting your time. So what we focus is on having the right number of calls that convert into a client. So when we take a new account that has been managed by another agency or even by the firm internally, we start providing less leads, but the quality of those leads is much higher. So they convert more leads into clients, and they sign more clients every month. That's the big difference.
What is the right number of calls? What do you mean by that?
I mean, I can send you 100 calls a week or a day, depending the budget. But many people will be looking for things that the company doesn't provide. So if you are just a car accident injury law firm, and people is looking for a slip and fall accident, and Google will bring you that traffic. Google recommends you use broad match. Broad match is going to bring you hundreds of leads that are completely irrelevant for you. So you need to know exactly where to bid higher, what is working, what is not, analyze the data, and with that you can provide maybe less leads than if you are using a Google recommendation broad match campaign. So you maybe get 40-50% less leads, but if your conversion rate goes from 1% to 7%, you are signing a lot more clients.
And I'm going to assume that usually this means a higher cost of acquiring customer, right? But it doesn't matter because if you need to pay more to acquire a customer, but that customer brings you much more money at the end of the funnel, then it all makes sense. And I think for coaches and consultants, B2B coaches and consultants, this is so important. Like, it's not about getting hundreds of leads each and every week. Actually, that won't do anything for your business because even if they were all qualified, you wouldn't be able to treat them. It's about consulting, and B2B coaching is about, and also for agencies, it is about getting into a few calls each and every week with the right qualified leads and decision makers. Is that what you try to focus on as well with all marketing
Exactly.
services, Alex?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Makes sense. So how do you, and I guess this is part of the answer, but I'm still curious to know, how do clients usually find you today? Like what do you do right now to get clients to know you, Alex, and all marketing services to be like, interesting, I might want to work with that person. How do you do that? What's your marketing strategy?
Well, we specialize on advertising, so we run a lot of advertising, of course, and that's our main source of acquiring clients.
Makes
But
sense.
we also do a lot of outreach via email, via LinkedIn,
Hmm.
and in that we provide value. It's not about asking for a meeting to sell you my services. It's about, hey, we've been running ads for more. I started running Google Ads on 2005, so it's been 20 years already. So, hey,
Some
in
solid
20
credibility
years,
here.
I have learned this. Maybe you are running this, but in our experience, this is better. So it's about trying to position myself as a thought leader. So maybe that attorney, that law firm, doesn't need our services today, but maybe in a few months, because they are getting messages from me, they will say, okay, that guy sent us a few tips that were really good. Maybe we should talk to him.
So two things I want to unpack here. Outreach, right? A lot of B2B coaches and consultants, they are a bit itchy to send DMs on LinkedIn, especially with their main account, right? Because they want to build, as you just mentioned, this thought leadership, this authoritative profile on LinkedIn, and sending DMs, cold DMs, might be perceived as, a bit pushy and not on brand. So do you do that with your own profile? And what do you typically recommend, lawyers, partners, consultants, and people in healthcare to do when it comes to cold outreach on LinkedIn?
I mean, you have to target first the right people. The broader you go, your message is not going to impact them.
Yeah.
So if you're talking about law firms, just target marketing people on big law firms, or attorneys that have started their own firm in the last few months and they need some support. But again, DM people, I receive, and you are receiving tons of DMs every day on LinkedIn and emails with the same subject. Quick question, Guillaume. Quick question, Alex. No one reads those emails.
So how do you do it?
Again, trying to bring value to the table. I don't
Mhm.
ask for a meeting.
Okay.
I just send resources saying, hey, if you're running Google Ads, you have seen that your conversion rate has dropped in the last couple of years. And we've
Yeah.
seen that this is because this, and this. Try it and let me know how it works for you.
Yeah.
No sales speech, no meeting request, nothing, just
Hmm.
value.
Hmm.
And we will send next week another message, maybe with a guide to build good landing pages, another article that we on our blog talking about a specific pain point that service-based companies may have.
Yeah.
That's the way we create value, and not just a sales speech, because everyone is sending salesly messages each and every day. So you have to try to be a little bit different with the subject lines, with everything, so people read your message and they realize, okay, this guy makes sense and he's not trying to sell me anything yet. So that's the approach.
Yet. No,
And
I love this.
obviously, we do this for getting more clients, but probably that client won't convert in the next 6 months. And I'm okay with that. I'm just trying to position myself, okay, this guy knows what he's talking about. And if you need someone, talk to Alex.
Is so we are not, I don't think we are in the quick wins world anymore. Like maybe 10 years ago, you could just, put up
Exactly.
an ad or send an email, get someone into a call and close them on a $10,000 service. Maybe. I don't think we can do this anymore. Now it's very much more about authority, trust. I had one of my guests saying, we live in a trust recession. And it's true because anybody can claim anything on the internet, right? So like, how do you split the true from the false? One of the things that you mentioned is you try to position yourself as a thought leader. So in the DMs, I get that. What else do you do to position yourself as a thought leader in today's markets? And that's going to make the link with the next question, which is how do you bring people from, okay, they know about you to becoming a client. But for that, you need that authority. So how do you, Alex, position yourself as a thought leader, as an authority? And how would you recommend consultants to do the same?
Well, LinkedIn is the perfect way, not only DMs, but just publishing valuable content, YouTube videos, even a podcast, although I'm too lazy right now to start my own podcast, but I should, because I know that it could bring, it could spread my knowledge. But yes, everything that you are doing for free will have a return in the future for you. So position yourself, trying to publish content with that provides value to your potential clients. That's very important right now. So using LinkedIn or starting a podcast or a YouTube channel, that will help you to do that.
I love that. So obviously, I'm a huge advocate for podcasts, but I won't push that now. I think any form of content, right?
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned something earlier, which is you need to make sure you DM the right people. I think this is so critical. And I'm going to double down on that by saying with the right message. Any content can work, really. I genuinely believe that. Short form, YouTube, LinkedIn, podcast, of course. SEO still works. But it's going to be about, okay, who is it that I'm targeting? And what is it that those people are currently looking for right now? What are their pain points? What are their desired outcome? And how do I build a content strategy that matches that so I am considered as the authority that is providing those answers? And for you, it's specifically LinkedIn. I love that LinkedIn is just probably where your clients are. Likewise for a lot of consultants, and that makes a lot of sense. So my next question, Alex, is a bit of a statement and then a question. Selling marketing services can be very competitive right now and complex, right? Like when you think about a low capital company that anybody can start, marketing agency comes on top most of the time. So how do you usually guide prospect from, hey, okay, I have an interest, I've received this message over the last 2 to 3 months from Alex on LinkedIn. He seems like a guy who can help me. How do you bring those people from interest to, the finish line and like, okay, we are working together. Here is the letter of engagement. How do you do that?
Well, for me, is a way of creating that trust. We don't ask for a contract. We work month to month, and if they are not happy with the results, they can stop working with us. True story, our clients stay with us for 2.5 years, usually, until they bring someone in-house to take control of the campaigns because they are already stable enough so someone can take the control of the campaigns. We have clients that have been with us since we started the company in 2018. So it's been 7 years already.
This is gold. How do you do that? Because that was going to be my next question. When I was in consulting at PwC, my partner who taught me everything I know about consulting, he told me, Guillaume, there are two types of consultants in this world: the hunters and the farmers. The hunters go after new business. I'm a hunter. This is him talking to me right now. And he's like, and I love it. But the consultants that make the most money, they are the farmers. Because once they get a client, if they're able to, upsell, help further, showcase so much value that they're like, hey, by the way, we've done this together. Here's the outcome, but we've identified this point, and this point that we can work on together. Would you like us to put a proposal? And he's like, those ones are the best because once they get a client in, they provide a lot of value and get paid a lot of money. 2.5 years with you on average for a marketing agency is huge. How do you do that?
Well, farming, exactly. That's the perfect example. Is about creating that relationship that sometimes goes beyond a client-provider relationship. With some of our clients, I can say that they are already my friends and not just clients because we've been through a lot of different things, moments where the company is not doing as well as they expecting, moments where they are doing really well. Being with them in the whole process create that personal relationship. So it's not just about trying to upsell and okay, now let's do this, and I'm going to charge you another $5,000 a month. Just staying with the same contract, doing the same. But if they see that you care about them, that you are always there for them, maybe some clients love to have a weekly call. At the beginning, maybe I have clients that wanted a meeting every day, 15 minutes every morning. I'm not okay with that. It's a waste of time, in my opinion. But if the client feels more comfortable working that way, it's okay. And even the client realized that after a month, we were just doing one weekly meeting, then bi-weekly. After 2 years, we were talking maybe once a month, no more than that. So we moved from one daily meeting to one monthly meeting in a 2 year space. So in the end, is that they trust you,
Yeah.
and they see that you take care of their account, their company, and that's the important thing.
So you, in French, we say you stole the words out of my mouth. I was going to say building that trust is so critical. And I think a lot of B2B coaches, consultants focus on building trust beforehand, before the sale, right? Because this is where it matters the most, but actually not, because you need people to trust that you can deliver if you want them to pay you. But I think reinforcing, doubling down on, and delivering much higher on expectations on trust after the onboarding is so important, because this is where the farming is coming from. And I love that you take this example, because there is no walk around. It's actually putting in the work. It's actually sometimes connecting on a daily basis with your clients, because that's how they feel more comfortable with. And then, of course, after a few weeks, few months, they will be okay to like lower this amount of calls. But this is why it matters so much, because they need to build that trust with you. Something that consultants, and I'm sure lawyers as well, struggle with a lot are getting testimonials and case studies out of their clients, right? Because especially lawyers, they don't always want to, well, it's first of all, it's law. So it might be like private data, private information. But a lot of coaches and consultants struggle to get those testimonials, those case studies out of their clients. Since you build that trust and work with those clients for so long, Alex, have you found a way, or do you have any advice when it comes to collecting those testimonials and those case studies from clients, so that you can build further trust outside of your agency and show people that, hey, this is what we do, guys. If we've done it for people like you, we might be able to do it for you as well. How do you do that?
Well, in our case, law firms, healthcare providers, they don't usually like making public their information. But when you have that trust relationship, you can ask, hey, do you mind if this person calls you and asks you about your experience working with me? And they will say yes. They won't let you write a case study using their logo and the numbers of the campaigns, the improvements that you have created for them. But they will be willing to talk to someone else about the quality of services you provide.
Yeah.
So that's a way to circumvent that lack of case studies.
No, that makes a lot of sense. And I think so the best is for sure to have, company logo, company name, before and after picture transformations. That's the best. If you can't, then a testimonial is good. And if you still can't do that, indeed, keeping it more private and having your potential prospect call those people is usually a good way to go by it. Alex, every business, B2B coaches, consultants, agencies, sometimes hit bottlenecks, right? I'm a bit curious, like where do you feel the most challenge right now? And the reason I'm asking this is because you've been doing this for a while. Clearly, you know your craft. Clearly, you have a great service. Otherwise, people wouldn't stay 2.5 years with you on average. But I'd be interested into understanding where you feel stuck right now, because people listening to us might be exactly in the same spot. And I'd be interested to know how you think or are strategizing right now to walk around this bottleneck. What is it for you right now?
Well, growing is always from managing everything to rely on other people because we focus on high quality standards. So that's trusting the person that you are hiring. supervising but not micromanaging the team is important. So yes, growing is the most difficult part when you focus on high quality service.
So hiring, staffing the right people in your team so that they can deliver at the same level of expectations than you are when you do it personally. Is that what you mean?
Yes, when you hire someone that is going to be managing the relationship with the client,
Yeah, yeah.
you have to be sure that he will be doing the same things that you do. So you have to coach that person
Mhm.
very well so the process is not affected by the new person managing that client account or a new
Yeah,
client account.
yeah,
The quality of the service and what that new person is going to be doing is going to be the same that you would be doing yourself.
yeah,
So
yeah.
having clear SOPs, define standards, saying, okay, you have to do this. When something happens, call me. Don't hesitate. I'm here to help you. Although you are managing the account, rely on me wherever you need. That's important. And having those processes really well defined is very important.
So again, great minds think alike. This is exactly what I was going to mention. So I think a game changer for us, and we see it in our coaches and consultant clients, is like having ultra detailed SOPs. And by that, I mean, the way we do SOPs right now is someone should be able to arrive in the company, know nothing about the tech, about the process, about the client, and be able to perform the task perfectly to the click, thanks to your SOP. And it's really like, how do you build something with such level of details that anybody going through this SOP will be able to perform that task? And the thing is, back to how you build trust with your clients onboarding, this takes actual time, this takes actual work, this takes actual handover, but that's one way. But then for your particular challenge, client facing, right, is another dimension because it's about interpersonal skills. It's about being able to have the right communication. How do you attract the right people for these particular scenarios, Alex?
Well, that's the difficult part about this.
Fair enough.
It, sometimes it's just a feeling when you interview a person, a resume, previous case studies, maybe true, maybe not. So it's about the personal connection, saying, okay, this guy looks like I can trust him. So it's more following your gut and not just focusing on the resume or the previous experience. Or okay, this person has been managing 1 million on advertising every month for the last 3 years. He's good at this. Maybe or maybe not. So this is just a discovery process. So maybe start with one account, hiring him as a freelancer, seeing how that goes. And if that person, that connection that you feel in that interview process continues, okay, let's grow, let's manage more accounts, and if not, well, looking for an alternative. But yeah, it's the toughest part of the business, for at least for
I
me.
agree. I agree. No, that's so we are usually, I mean, agencies, and I think at some point consultants as well, we hit two bottlenecks. The first one is we don't get enough leads and enough clients, right? So we have capacity, but we don't know how to get the right clients through the door. And I think that's one of the things you help on. And the second bottleneck is going to be capacity, right? And that's something I saw at PwC, which is why they are basically it's a recruitment business. It's like how good of a talent are we able to attract and train so that we put them on a career track and they become the next partners in 10 to 15 years and you keep on building that pyramid. I think something that helps a lot nowadays for that specific problem is personal brand. And it's back to that content strategy that you mentioned at the beginning, Alex. Again, whether it's be like podcast, YouTube channel, SEO, LinkedIn, other social media platforms, but like having that personal brand that will attract the right people in terms of clients, but also in terms of talents, because they're like, hey, I've been following this guy in MySpace for the last 2 years, and actually he looks like a cool guy, and he looks like you. He doubles down on quality and providing a great service. I want to work for a company that keeps their clients for at least 2.5 years. So personal brand, personal brand, personal brand. Now for you, Alex, maybe one last question to wrap up this interview. What's the biggest opportunity that you see in your space in the next 6 to 12 months? Like, what's the next big level for growth on top of hiring the right talent, of course?
Well, there is a lot of opportunities right now. Some companies, because the political uncertainty, maybe we're having holding efforts, marketing efforts, and I'm pretty sure that that work of farming before signing a client will work well in the next 6 months, where everything is going to be probably clearer. So yes, that work of Armand, doing small things one by one, will convert in something bigger, and that's what I'm expecting in the next 6 months to 1 year.
And to that, Alex, thank you so much for coming on Consulting Leaders. If people want to find out more about you, follow you, or potentially, work with you, where should they go?
Well, they can visit my LinkedIn profile, Alex Lloro, or they can visit our website, allmarketing.co, C-O, no M at the end. That sometimes confuses people. So allmarketing.co, and you will find our phone number or a way to schedule a free consultation.
Here we go. So we were already connected, but I've dropped a few likes on the LinkedIn post. So that's at least one follower that you have now, Alex. Thank you so much for coming on Consulting Leaders.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Thanks for joining us on this episode of the Consulting Leaders podcast. We hope you learned valuable lessons on how to grow your practice and take your business to the next level. Make sure to subscribe and leave us a review wherever you're listening to this show so you never miss an episode. To apply and be a guest on the show, click the link in the description. See you next time.